Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm leading off today. I'm Jeff Linder, Jeff Johnson with the hat, Nathan Ford with the headphones. We're here to talk. We're here to call it both ways. We're going to start football, and
where we continue to call it neither way.
I'm leading off. Just settle down.
Sorry.
Yeah, what he said. We don't have any news. We were told by the association, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that they would have a decision today. And the association today is saying that they'll have a decision tomorrow. So you know more than I do. You've been following this a little bit more. You don't know about the same as much as me. You know a little bit. But what have you heard? What do you think's going to happen? What do you expect? What do you think we'll have news tomorrow?
I hope
And
so.
will we have football playoff news first, or will we have final caucus results first?
That's a great question, and you brought that up a little earlier, and that's hilarious. And I think you just put a Twitter poll out there, right?
Yeah, I did.
Which is coming down first, playoff announcement or a final 100% caucus results. So
I think it's a pick'em.
it is. That's good. That's good. Sponsored by Elite Sportsbook, right?
There you go.
Who knows at this point, right?
Yeah. So what do you expect tomorrow? If you had to write an advanced story and have it just sit there and just be able to top it tomorrow, what do you think the meat of what's the meat on the bone gonna be?
All right, this is what I think, and it's always dangerous when we start thinking, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think 32 teams in each class will make the playoffs.
32 qualifiers.
And I'm not sure about how that's going to work in 4A, quite honestly.
32 out of 40,
if 32 is actually going to be the number. But I think they are deciding in 4A whether there will be 40 or 42 schools.
Okay.
And I think if they go 40, that would mean whoever are on the bottom of the 4A enrollment beds and documents will just get kicked down.
The bottom two.
Yep, the bottom two, and everything it'll be like a ladder effect. So, but who the hell knows at this point, right?
Right.
So,
I to be honest, I kind of lost interest. I figured we'll know, and I hope we know by week 1.
let's just cancel the damn thing for 2 years, right? No football. Make it a club deal.
Don't say that.
No club. I don't know.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about this seemingly on every podcast for about the last however long.
So let's see. Football ended. The playoffs ended about 10 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we've basically gone through another season. Another 10 weeks, and we're nowhere. Because nobody knows what class they're in. They don't know how many qualifiers. They don't know. Nobody's got even close to a schedule. Nobody knows who they want to schedule. So
maybe tomorrow, districts, that stuff might come out too with it.
And I'll say this, and I said this beforehand. I don't mind them waiting as long as they do it right, as long as they know what they're doing.
That we talked about.
And come up with a plan, a good plan. And if it's another 3 or 4 weeks, so be it. Not everybody's gonna be happy, no matter what they do, and just come up with a plan and stick with it.
One other thing that just kind of snooping around a little bit. One of the possibilities was if it's 40 teams in 4A, there could be 10 districts of 4 teams. And so it would kind of be tiered, and I'm not sure how the tiered thing would work out, but I guess the thought would be to try and get some schools in the playoffs that ordinarily might not ever have that opportunity.
Well, they're doing that because they're going to have 32 teams.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. Maybe they'll only have 16
well,
for it. I don't know.
That could be.
And
then you can't do that because then you got two district champs that are going to be hitting the road in the first round, which I don't like. Just have 8 districts of 5.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just one thing that I've heard it's being thrown out there, and so there you go. We got nothing. We got nothing, folks.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Should we switch to basketball? Something we know a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, we got girls regional pairings, 1A, 2A, 3A.
Hit it.
4A and 5A will come out in a week. And they did a really nice job of splitting the 2A teams up that are good around here. Let's start 3A first. Going through my brackets here. We don't have any Area 3A teams that are ranked in the top 8. Just kind of looking, West Liberty's had a really nice season. They're on track to host 2 games. They open with Mid Prairie in the first round. Williamsburg will host Benton in the first round game. Monticello, which I believe only has 4 losses and has had a really nice season, they open with Mount Vernon. Solon plays Vinton Shellsburg. Those are kind of the headliners around here. Waukon opens at home against New Hampton. 2A, top-ranked Cascade will be the top seed in its district. And I know they would play Regina if they both advance that far in a regional final. They're together with Regina. Cascade would open with either Postville or Clayton Ridge in the first round. North Lynn's ranked 3rd. They're kind of the protected team in that region. And, they go west. They would play East Marshall at home, and then and East Marshall's probably the closest team to them geographically. So then they would play like a Pleasantville or a Pella Christian, and then the regional final might be against a Van Meter or a Woodward Granger or somebody like that. West Branch and Mediapolis and Van Buren are all in a region together. 3 teams that are ranked, I believe, in the top 10. And MFL, Marmac, and Maquoketa Valley are kind of the headliners in another region. 1A, Montezuma's the top team in the area. They're ranked number 5. Let me find them. They're in a district with regional. They kind of stay out west in the South Iowa Cedar League and Iowa Star Conference teams through the regional final, and then possibly would play a Springville or a Sigourney in a regional final, which would be either at Williamsburg or Iowa City West. And I would say that's probably the big news girl bracket wise.
I just gotta know. I'm all about the really, really, really small schools. Is there a legit chance that we could have a really, really small school like a Sydney or a...
Sydney's not a really, really, really small school. They're
Isn't it?
They're kind of a 1A, 2A borderline for girls. They had been 2A in volleyball for quite a few years now.
Diagonal.
No, they're not. I don't think so.
That's really, really small.
Seymour was ranked.
There we go.
Seymour was ranked in the top 5 last year and lost a regional final by 1 point to North Mahaska. So they would have been really, really small. I'm just looking at the top seeds. Bellevue Marquette is a private school, but they're really, really small. They're ranked number 2. Montezuma is not that small. North Mahaska, no. Exire HK, not real small. Noel Fonda, not really small, but boy, they're really good. They're ranked number 1 and considered one of the better teams in the state in any class.
So nothing really surprised you?
No, I think they did what the girls' union always does and did a nice job of carving everything up pretty well. Some teams are going to have to make some really long trips, but that's okay.
You know what I love here, folks? I don't know if you can see it. I'll try and go down close. They got the logos of the schools in the brackets.
That's varsity bound.
Each one.
Yeah.
Varsity bound. There you go.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I don't have colored sheets, but if I did, they'd
they'd
sure be pretty.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So the tournament starts for the girls
the 15th of February.
Okay.
That's a Saturday. One new twist that the girls' union is doing. Saturday, the first round games are in 3A and 2A. Those are first round games. They're on a Saturday. They're moving all those games to 5 p.m. And they're doing the same thing on February 22nd for the 3A regional finals. And I think that's also 5A first round day.
That's nice that they look out for us, media folks
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
No deadline pressure.
It's all about
like
us.
that. Absolutely. Let's also now throw it back to Saturday. Super Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's call it Super Saturday.
And
We
you've
saw a
had
couple of super games.
You've had a shift in your life.
I have. I've come to an epiphany, and I'm not really quite sure how I feel about it, to be honest. It's all right, folks. I'm a little ashamed to say this, so I might put my hat down over my head like this, but I think I've become pro shot clock. It's true. Jeff and I have always, I think, kind of shared very similar thoughts on that. Not really all about it.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I'm warm. I'm 72 degrees. Yeah, I'm the more when I saw it at Rivalry Saturday, I liked it. I like that there aren't a lot of fouls at the end of games. Teams have to play a little bit of defense and can get back into a game.
Yep.
I think you had a Don Bosco Albernet game that kind of happened with that. You can't milk clock, and I'm fine with it. I'm not. It's not my life's passion to implement it.
Correct.
But if they
I
do,
would agree with that.
If they do, I'm fine with it. And if they don't, I'm fine with that too.
We had the Wells Fargo Advisors Shootout Saturday at Cedar Rapids Kennedy. 8 fun-filled games. Started at 9:30 and pretty much right on time. I got out of that gym about, I don't know what time. It was 9:15.
Did that help you get out on time? Did the shot clock help?
I think so. To be quite honest, it was a 35-second shot clock. That's what it was for in the rivalry Saturday, right? Which I think is an appropriate time.
I think that's better than 30.
Absolutely, 100%. I would not like 30.
Yeah.
At all. It really didn't really come into effect. Most of the games were, quite honestly, rather one-sided. But it did. Kennedy played a school from Kansas in the second game of the shootout, and that went to overtime. So obviously that played into it. And then the first game was a perfect example of what the shot clock can do, as you mentioned, with Albernet and Don Bosco. Albernet's up 15 with 5 minutes left. Can't take the air out of the ball at the first hint of a comeback. And next thing you knew, Don Bosco was within one possession. And Albernet was able to hang on and get the 2-point win. And Albernet coach Jeff Christofferson, even though his team was adversely affected, I guess you could say, by the different rule, said he liked it. And I think the one thing, Jeff, that I took out of that is that nobody really had any gripes about it, but I guess you wouldn't really expect that. And I think the feeling is of inevitate.
Yeah,
with this.
I think so. I've kind of felt that way for the last year or two. That
just
it's coming.
Matter of when.
Were there any malfunctions or anything? Or
There was one late in the very last game. A young man from Charles City went up. Had a dunk. 3 dunks in the game, by the way, from this kid. The last one knocked the shot clock out, which was on top of the hoop. It wouldn't work. So the referees brought the coaches together, and I could overhear this whole thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, it was decided that they would keep the one working shot clock going, and that was how the rest of the game continued. And then eventually the shot clock that was temporarily out came back on. So there's really no. And I mean, you had here and there, you had a little bit of, okay, did the ball hit the rim? Should it be a shot clock violation? Yeah. That little tiny stuff like that. But that's stuff that'll, if and when the shot clock comes into fruition, the bugs will get worked out on that for everybody. So.
And just to keep it simple, I think it would always be 35. They've got the deal now in college where after a rebound, it only resets to 20. or I don't know if it's that way after a foul too, but after a rebound it resets to 20 instead of 30. I think I'd just make it 35.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit here and one thing that we had really good officials for this thing, and that helped a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to bag on anybody officiating wise or things like that, and we had good people that were capable of running the shot clock, paying attention, and making sure that it reset when it reset, and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I think I'm pro shot clock, and
yeah, I'm fine with it.
35, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It, like you said, if it happens,
Yeah.
okay. If not, that's great too.
Yeah, it's
the one
worked
thing,
okay for the last 100 years.
One thing I was thinking to myself that I don't know how what you think, but I think that with a shot clock, it gives the big underdog less of a chance to beat somebody.
Yeah.
Because you can't milk possessions. Take a minute off the clock here and there. You always gotta shoot within 35 seconds. Would you agree with that, or is that an overreaction?
I think it. The more possessions there are, the more opportunity there is for the cream to rise to the top, and yeah, I think so. But I don't know. I mean, underdogs can come up with some other kind of gimmick.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. All right, now your Super Saturday. Last Saturday, two great, big time matchups. Marion and Center Point Urbana, West Des Moines Dowling, and Iowa with City High.
Terrific games. I was at Marion. Teams didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but it was a very good game. Both teams played well, and turnover number was low, and Marion won the game 45-43, and in what's really become one of the best area rivalries. Marion and Center Point Urbana. Just a great game, and two teams that ought to make some noise in Class 4A.
And that's the last time they play each other. They don't play again, right?
No, they just play once because they're in opposite divisions.
I actually saw Marion last night against Dyersville Beckman, girl-boy doubleheader, which was nice to see on a Tuesday. I was impressed by the way that they are aggressive defensively. Always seem to have the hands going, trying to swipe balls and things like that. Do I have that?
Yeah, they play a very aggressive kind of game, and a lot of our good teams in the area do. Center Point Urbana is among them. They've got a really nice press that they throw at you. City High, they get after you, and I think when you've got the horses, you let them run, and Marion does play very enjoyable brand of basketball.
What else has gone on the girls' side?
Well,
here
we talked about the other game. City High beat West Des Moines Dowling 75-73 to hang on to their number one ranking. And Caitlin Clark was as good as advertised. I think she had 24 at halftime, finished with 31. But City High just had a little bit more at the end. I don't know if it was home floor or what, but they were able to pull it out, and good for them.
Are those the top two teams?
They're two of the top teams. I think there are probably, maybe 5 or 6 teams in 5A that have a chance to win it, and those are absolutely two of them.
It was cool. I went, as I just mentioned, went to Marion last night. On the sign right as you walk or you drive into the school there, Marion High School, the electronic sign had flashing, home of the number 2 ranked and number 1 ranked basketball teams in the state. So the boys, for the first time in school history, were ranked number 1 this week, and of course they lost last night. So that's going to be a very short-lived type of deal, but they're very proud of their basketball,
and they
teams.
should be. And, the girls have had it going for about 5 years now, and it's not going to end after this year. They lose Cable Lobby, but they've got 2 D1 kids coming back, and Sadie Struken has really blossomed into a nice player, and they've got some good young kids. I think their Their JV team has lost once this year, so it's not ending after this year either.
Conference champions. There's actually 3 on the boys' side already that have been clinched. I'm going to put you to the test here. Easton Valley and the Tri-Rivers East.
Right.
I get them in north, south, east, west. Montezuma in the Sickle West. And Meskwaki Settlement School has clinched the north. The Iowa Star.
Iowa Star
South.
I think, right?
So
how many Iowa Star teams can you name? Could you name all 14? We won't do that now.
Collins Maxwell, how's that?
That's 1.
Baxter.
2.
Cedar Falls Valley Lutheran. Meskwaki, there's 4.
Yeah.
Is Colonesco in there?
Yeah.
I'm rattling these off like a mofo, right? So,
Did you say GMG?
OMG, yeah, GMG.
Yeah.
That's all in one division, right?
I think so. I think you got 6, or I think you got about south about round.
Where do we go?
North Tama?
North Tama. There's
I think that's your south, and then north is Janesville, Riceville, Clarksville, Dunkerton, Don Bosco, Waterloo Christian, and one more. Who are we missing? Tripola. I think we got them.
That's good. That's good, Lindy.
We know the Iowa Star Conference.
So 3 teams on the boys' side. Northland can join them Friday night. A big game against Springville. That actually I'm going to be at.
You'll see a good girls game.
Northland could see the would win the Tri-Rivers West.
And they've got a big long Tri-Rivers win streak going.
Yeah, I think it's like 336 games or something like that.
Something
I'll have to effort that.
I know.
How about the girls? We have conference champs already.
We've got a few. Cascade has clinched a tie in the River Valley North. Bellevue Marquette has wrapped up a tie in the Tri-Rivers East. Northland has won the Tri-Rivers West. MFL Marmac has won the Upper Iowa. And they don't have divisions anymore in the Upper Iowa, and good for them.
There you go. We are getting right down to the nitty-gritty here. So let's see. What do you have the rest of the week? I guess
have Iowa women Thursday.
All right.
Trying to bounce back after that loss at Michigan, and then Friday I'm going to go see City High and Prairie. 1 versus 6 now, I guess.
Hawks were kind of due, weren't they?
They were due,
For a
and they've lived kind of a charm life lately. I mean, they were able to pull out a lot of games late with these miraculous fourth quarter comebacks, and there was no comeback at Ann Arbor on Sunday. So maybe they'll kind of be able to reset and get back at it. They won 32 in a row at home, and we'll try to extend that tomorrow against Nebraska.
And as I mentioned, I've got Springville at Northland. I'll get there nice and early.
Get there for the girls' game.
Suburban Troy Mills to catch the girls and the boys.
That's at North.
Yep.
Okay. Stay at the Troy Mills Hilton.
I see the damn bar is back open.
That's good.
But that's a restaurant and lounge
type
of situation. So I've always kind of wondered how good the food is. The Troy store, that's the other place that has like roasted chicken and stuff like that too.
That's just to the north of the turnoff to go to the high school.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I'll have.
It's always fun to go to Northland.
It is. Good people up there.
Yes.
Good people. And then there's a big game Saturday. I'm not sure if I'll be there or not. Iowa City West and Cedar Falls, a couple of top 10 ranked teams in 4A. West is number 1 in 4A this week. So just good stuff. Good stuff. Anything else you want to hit on here? What do you think of the big Mookie Betts trade?
He's going to the Dodgers, right?
He's going to the Dodgers.
What did Boston get back
with
for?
David Price?
Oh.
They got with Alex Verdugo, right? And then the Twins were the 3rd team in this trade.
Okay. What'd they get?
Kenta Maeda. I have no idea. I'm not a National League guy, so.
Okay.
But they gave up Bruce Dark or Adderall, their 100-mile-per-hour throwing former Cedar Rapids Colonel. So.
Okay.
Baseball. Pitchers and catchers actually report
it's
next
not
week.
Far away, is
no.
it? I was thinking.
That's good.
I was thinking we're going to be talking indoor track weather here, or track meets here.
There you go. There you go. All right, I guess we'll sign off. We don't really have a whole lot of news. You want to do the honors since you signed us on?
See you next week.
Thanks, folks.